Okay, listen guys. I know you're curious why this game is 30 minutes long, but bear with me here. I'm going to explain why I could not kill this dude, or why I was scared, you know. So I go hedge first, and then I proxy hedge him, and then this dude is like, I'm gonna build some salads, and he builds an adept, and watch this. Pew! The drone builds a proxy edge in his main. Why did I build the proxy edge in his main, right? You might be like, that's really stupid. What is this gonna do? It's just gonna kill it. But, so I know that he has 2 pylons here, and I know he has 1 pylon here. So the chance that he has a 4th pylon anywhere on the map at this stage of the game is pretty slim, because he doesn't need a 4th pylon. And he expanded. So I was like, well, I'm gonna pull the proxy edge here. So when he builds tech over here, I'm going to scout it. And if he builds a tech here, this overlord scouts it, right? It's like a scouting thing. But yeah, I did some cutesy salad stuff, right? I was like, okay, dudes, it's time to bring out the bangers. I even double Stargate. At this point, I did not see that. I did not see that yet. But as soon as the edge is almost done, I cancel it and I see, oh, double oracle, boom, immediately, spore. I go for the queens. Worker count wise, we're pretty much even, which is usually good for the Zerg at this stage of the game. But I'm very scared. Okay, right here, I am super scared. Because this guy's going Stargate and I don't want to deal with Stargate. So what do? I build a Spire. So against the double Stargate 2-base opener, I'm countering with 2-base Stargate. He sadly kills this base because oracles do a lot of damage, I guess. So I expand to the gold instead, boohoo. His own 3rd base is faster and he switched to Void Ray production. As soon as my Spire is done, I start pumping the Corruptors. Because I'm like... So I was like, I knew he built 1 Phoenix and I knew he built Oracles. And I figured 6 Corruptors are enough to beat 1 Phoenix and whatever else he can build in that time. So I start pumping the Corruptors. He attacks this hatch here. While they have the prismatic alignment activated, his units are slower. And he had to recall, else he would have lost them. I'm just pumping Mass Corruptor. So it's Mass Corruptor versus Mass Void Ray. Because I'm putting all my money into the Corruptors, I'm actually able to outproduce him. And I'm not looking for a fight, so that's a pretty big mistake by him there. He activated Prismatic Alignment on all his Void Rays, which does give them +6 damage, which is like 50% more damage. Huge buff. So now I'm just kiting away, firing here and there. Units lost wise, I am behind. That does make sense. So now I'm abusing the fact that I can, well, just fly into his main base and camp his production. So he had to cancel all his Void Rays and it's like, I'm going sextuple Stargate. All of the oracles are resting, I'm droning up, so they're getting my 4th base up. He's already on his 4th base. So once again, kind of a yikes position. Because he opens himself up quite a bit here, I'm able to get some links into his main base. Once again, harassing his Void Rays a bit. Once his Void Rays do reach a critical mass, it gets kind of yikes for me to defend. Not sure what that recall was, but I'm sniping a couple Void Rays here. He doesn't really have enough units on the ground to defend against my Corruptors. And in a game like this, it's really just about who has more units. But right, this is not how the game ends, right? Because he's like, well, I'm going 6 Stargate into 7, 8 gate, 11 gate total. So he now makes a switch to 11 gateways, so he can just kind of produce whatever he wants. And that's a yikes, right? That's a big yikes. I'm going for the Baneling Nest now. I realized, so I'm not gonna win this game with Corruptors, because if I spam Corruptors and he spams Gateway units, I lose. I keep trying to harass him. I'm checking if his Stargates are building units, because I don't want to suddenly run into 6 carriers and I don't have any anti-air, so I kinda need to scout a bit. I'm trying to take out these bases down here. I could have attacked him here, but the chances of that one working out are fairly slim. His oracles are kind of scouting a bit. Once again, checking. Okay, no production. Okay, easy peasy. And I'm getting the Lurker then now, because I'm like, well, if he builds this many Stalkers, I need something that actually beats the Stalkers. I'm going for Lurkers, he's going for Storm. So the game is kind of transitioning, and there aren't really any fights happening. Right here, thanks to my biles, I'm able to clean up his Void Rays, because I realized, well, if he blinks the Stalkers backwards and lets the Void Rays standing, what are the chances he's gonna move the Void Rays out of the biles? So I just biled his Void Rays. I'm able to deny his gold base expo, that's quite nice for me. I think I'm gonna retreat right here, because this is getting a bit spooky. I have quite a nice mineral count. Right. But these Stalkers are still very scary, especially because Storm absolutely wrecks Lings. That's why you don't want to fight against Storm. Storm kills you. Stalkers blink away, you achieve nothing, you only lose. That's why people build Banelings, because Banelings just roll through the Storm and explode onto him. But you have to be aggressive with the Banelings. Defensive Banelings are not that as potent in that regard, because you can kind of kite away from them. But against offensive Banelings, you can't do that. So I'm positioning myself. He doesn't have any detection, and as you can tell, Stalkers take a lot of damage from Lurkers. Lurkers are the only units that are cast that beat Stalkers really, really heavily. Any other unit kind of, I mean, I guess the Baneling, if you have a huge economic lead. But any other unit is kind of yikesy against the Stalker, but the Lurker works really well. So we also have some harassment over there with DTs and stuff. This down here gets cleaned up. I'm up 60 supply. Now you might think, well, Railgan, haven't you won the game? No, because this guy has so many storms that if I try to engage into him, half of my army like just explodes against the storms. So I really do not want to engage into this. And he's also expanding like a madman. I'm a Lurker harassing him though. It's very, very spooky. I have some DT harass, like there's like harass going on in the game all the time. And here's where the game turns weird. So at the 17-minute mark, I go for my attack, right? And I'm like, well, I have my Overseer here, so I don't get DT crushed. If he snipes his Overseer, I'm fucked. And he goes for a counter as well. I'm like... Bless me. I don't think that's what people say. Whatever, I said it. I'm just expanding everywhere now, trying to shut down his bases. He's doing some solid attack up here. I'm gonna lose that base, I think. It's fine though. We're basically going for a full blown out base trade here. So I'm gonna speed this up a bit. As you can tell, I have slightly more money. I'm killing all of his production. He resets my tech tree though, which also sucks for me. Whatever. Now I have a lot of minerals, but minerals are like Lings. I mean, I'm gonna take out his entire tech tree here. Now I'm at 138 supply, and I have Lurkers, and he cannot engage into the Lurkers. This is actually a pretty bad fight for me here, because I don't have the speed burrow upgrade for the Lurkers. I lose quite a few Hydras there. But he cannot really engage into my Lurkers, and he cannot mine. Because... Yeah, you need to move the Overlords to the safety in the map. I was a little bit slow to that. But I eventually moved the Overlords to my safety. But I lost quite a few because of that. He's like trying to shut down this space. Also expanded over here, so I'm like attacking and expanding in both bases. He doesn't really have mining right now, so income wise I'm ahead. But if you can kill my army, if you can like storm my Hydras or my worker line, it kind of gets ugly. So I realized, well, I have so much money and I cannot spend any of it because I have 0 tech. So I was just putting down a couple hatcheries and I'm playing the slow game here. I know his income cannot keep up with my income, and I'm slowly killing off all his tech down here with my Lurkers. Like, so I'm trying to remove all the buildings of his from the map. He's killing my base down here for whatever reason. Doing so, on the other hand, like I mean, I'm not sleeping, right? I'm like attacking him here with some Lurkers. Lurkers in position here to take out these spaces. And I have Lurkers positioned over here as well with Spore Crawlers, so he cannot attack into me. And I figured, well, I mean, I have like two options here to end this game. Either go for Broodlords or I abduct his stuff. Because, I mean, I could try to go like Mass Baneling, but against this many Storms and Archons, it's really yikes. Yeah, he is at 0 supply. He has at 0 workers now, supply block. So this is his last building, and as you can tell, Storm kills stuff. So I'm just playing the calm game here because because I didn't feel like I need to suicide. Then once I have my Vipers ready, I poke out, abduct, whoop whoop. Some Archons are gone. And I start getting a little bit more aggressive, but as you can tell, Storm fucking hurts. Storm really hurts badly. And he has Archons over here as well. And then he like cleans up my army, so... Smartly enough, I have enough units at home to end up cleaning the game. But that was a really weird game. Started with a Proxy hatch. Double Stargate versus 2-base Spire, which 2-base Spire shouldn't win if he builds anything but Oracles, but he decided to build Oracles and one random Phoenix and Void Rays. I'm not sure what the Phoenix was doing. If he had like one more Void Ray, could have probably sniped this space and the whole game would have been different. But yeah. Weird game, eh? Was a fun one though.